Launching a brand today often comes with pressure to do everything at once, multiple categories, layered storytelling, and a fully formed world. But many of the strongest brands across value, premium, and luxury categories did just the opposite. They started small, they started with basics, and they started with function, focus, and restraint. This video is going to focus on four distinct ways that brands have used simplicity at launch as a strategic advantage and how that foundation has enabled them to scale without losing meaning. Hello everyone, welcome back to this video, which is going to be about starting with basics, how brands build from simplicity to scale. Starting small, thinking big. Brands that began with basics. Now, one of the most overlooked advantages in brand building is the decision to start with essential products, items that require little explanation and invite repeated use. Basics reduce friction, they allow the customers to focus on quality and not persuasion. Everlane is a modern example of this approach. The brand launched with wardrobe staples, for example, t-shirts, denims, and knits, and differentiated not through design excess but through pricing transparency and supply chain visibility. By stripping away the unnecessary narrative at launch, Everlane built trust first and optionality later on. In the same respect, Levi's offers a longer historical lens. Jeans were never conceived as fashion statements, they were functional garments. That single category became the anchor for decades of relevance, enabling Levi's to expand into collaborations, premium lines, and lifestyle positioning without losing its core identity. And then there's the Row. Before it became a benchmark for modern luxury restraint, the brand reportedly began with the pursuit of the perfect white t-shirt. No logo, no theatrics, just precision. The discipline of that beginning still defines the brand today. Now, the pattern is consistent. Basics accelerate consumer trust, repetition builds memory faster than novelty, and simplicity at launch creates clarity at scale. Starting small isn't limiting, it's clarifying. Our next focus point is functional to fashion, crafting roots that become luxury icons. Many of today's most revered luxury houses didn't begin as aspirational brands. They began as solutions. For example, Louis Vuitton started as a trunk maker focused on durability and transport at a time when travel was evolving. Flat-top trunks weren't aesthetic statements, they were functional innovations. Gucci emerged from leather goods and equestrian utility. Burberry built its reputation on trench coat, built with a fabric that was a technical, weather-resistant fabric which was designed for real conditions. What transformed all these brands wasn't a rejection of utility, but reframing of it. Function became heritage, craft became culture, and practicality became prestige. Luxury, in its most durable form, grows out of competence and not abstraction. Now, the third pillar that we wanted to share with you was from one SKU to a luxury house product first breakouts. In an age of rapid expansion, some of the most successful modern brands launched with one obsessive product. Not a collection, not a category map, a single proof point. The Row again exemplifies this approach. The brand expanded only after its aesthetics language was fully resolved, not because it could, but because it was ready. This strategy prioritizes depth over breadth. One product that sharpens positioning, simplifies operation, accelerates learning. A single SKU done exceptionally well can carry more meaning than a fragmented launch. And finally, let's move on to the brand architecture, winning with value and prestige tiers. Herein, what we want to focus is that not every brand needs to focus between accessibility and luxury. Some of the most resilient brands succeed by structuring growth and not flattening it. For example, Hugo Boss uses clear segmentation. Boss anchors premium core while Hugo speaks to a younger, trend-driven audience without confusing the two. Armani perfected this model decades ago. Armani Exchange functions as an entry point, while the main Armani lines preserve luxury codes around tailoring, pricing, and distribution. When executed well, tiering diversifies revenue, creates lifetime customer progression, protects core brand equity. When executed poorly, it dilutes the meaning. Brand architecture is not about lowering prices, it's about controlling context. In closing of the intro of this particular series, we'll leave you with basics as a strategic advantage. Across value, premium, and luxury, one insight repeats. Brands that endure do not rush complexity, they earn it. Starting with basic forces, discipline in product, in storytelling, and in capital allocation. It builds trust before aspiration and clarity before scale. In a market that is saturated with launches that try to say everything, the brands that start by saying one thing well are often the ones that last. Hope you've enjoyed the introduction to this brand building series. Stay tuned in for our next episodes.